America's 4 military academies, summer is anything but a vacation. Here, college lasts all year round.
Are we ready to get it on?
And summer is for getting cadets and midshipmen out of the classroom and into the action. In exchange for a free college education, cadets and midshipmen agree to serve at least 5 years as officers in the U.S. Armed Forces. To prepare them, each summer they participate in a variety of programs designed to teach them practical military skills and give them first-hand experience in the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and Coast Guard.
This is what I love. This is why I joined the Army. You know, I love being outdoors. I love running around doing stuff and actually getting hands-on experience doing things that I will be doing in the future.
Academy summers are meant to push people to their limits and beyond. At West Point, Army sophomores face Recondo, a full day of physical challenges that includes the water obstacle course.
We want to face the cadets with a situation that's going to be particularly challenging. We combine in both of these events two of the greatest fears that people have, the fear of heights and the fear of water. And we put those both together into a conglomeration that a lot of people don't find too fun. Personally, the scarier one for me is the beam walk rope drop. Now, the neat thing is the beam is only about as wide as a 2x6 or a 2x8, which anybody can walk across when it's on the ground. But when you place it 20 feet above the water, it becomes very frightening. And you'll see people that shake and their knees move as they go across.
It's not gonna stop shaking.
At one point in the beam, there's 3 steps. So you go up, up, down, and then back on the beam again. At West Point, there's something called the West Point Rocket. It's a sort of cheer we do. My squad leader came to me and said, all right, when you're on the top step, if you do the rocket, then I'll buy you a pizza. And I was thinking to myself, no, I'm not going to do that. I just want to get across the beam, you know?
The idea of so much of our training here at West Point is overcoming your fears. The worst thing imaginable on the battlefield can happen to you. If you are petrified in that environment, you cannot lead people. West Point gives you the opportunity to overcome those fears, to look at the worst thing you could possibly imagine and somehow or other face it and overcome it.
And if this weren't scary enough, they also climb up a tower, which is about 70 feet tall, and actually get on it and slide down on what's called the slide for life.
Where are you from?
King Prussia, Pennsylvania.
So you ain't far from home?
No, sorry. It didn't look so high when you're down. When you get up there, I was like, how am I going to get down? Because once you let go, you just go. I mean, you have no control.
You're going to lean back in your upper body, that way you hit the water at an angle. You want to get off my tower?
Hey, Sergeant.
Let me hear what you got to say.
Cadet Hart, I request permission to execute the flag for life, Sergeant!
A little bit louder. Give it to me. Give me something to work with here.
Cadet Hart, request permission to execute the flag for life, Sergeant!
Get off my tower. Hurry up. Go. Get up here, you.
First, it starts out kind of slow, and then you pick up speed, and then it's like kind of like flying. It's really cool, actually. And you're pretty high when you let go, too.
One, two, three, left.
The Leadership Reaction Course tests cadets' ability to work together as a team. Their first mission is to get a 400-pound barrel of water up a mile-long hill.
Move up and help under.
The cadets are given that 55-gallon drum, a length of rope, some metal poles, and they have to improvise a litter or some means to carry it approximately 1.5 kilometers over rough terrain.
Roll to the top of the hill, look.
We throw in things such as tires, too much rope.
All right, we're going to take it, sling it out there, okay?
they'll try and create a wheelbarrow, and it just won't work. So they'll waste more of their time, and we'll look to see if they get angry with each other, to see how well they're working as a team. And that's the mission of the Army. You know, to succeed, you have to work together.
You know, you learn that in general your body can take a lot more than you expect it to. You know, you can keep going long after, you know, you're tired and worn out.
Help each other. Here we go. Come on.
You know, you think that you have natural limits, but you can exceed them.
How do y'all want to do it?
There's 61 80 levels.
The next challenge involves moving a dozen 100-pound boxes of ammo down a half-mile hill.
Get down, get down! We didn't really have time to have a plan because that was the whole point. You know, with the fire coming in, we had to get it out quick. But we had to be careful because it was ammo. So anytime we dropped it or anything, someone else died.
If you drop it, I will slit your throat.
If they're not pulling basic soldier drills such as pulling security, staying in the proper formation, and listening to direction, my walker will assign a casualty, which means that the team has to work that much harder. They have to carry their dead weight along with everything else.
All right. No. Here, drop it, drop it.
Everyone was giving like 100%, so I had to give my all to match their all.
Everyone, grab the box. Go.
I don't think anyone had ever done anything that hard before.
At what ratio do we...
West Point cadets also spend several weeks honing their infantry skills, overseen by enlisted soldiers from the Army's 10th Mountain Division.
Every exercise we do, I think, helps us with leadership and teamwork. Personally, I've learned a lot. For example, today we learned how to breach an obstacle, such as barbed wire.
And finally, we have the assault team. What do you think the assault team does, cadet?
It aggressively decimates the enemy force on the opposite side.
Absolutely. They kill. That is all they do. They kill them all. Let God sort them out. Oh! Now standing. You are going into his sandbox. You are taking his sandbox away from him. You will kill him dead. Make it happen.
These graduates of this academy can expect to go on very short notice to countries like Bosnia, to foreign countries where there is a threat. And we don't have the luxury anymore of giving them time to develop in units as small unit leaders. They've got to be ready to hit the ground running.
Left side in position. Right side's in position. Hey, is left side in position over there?
We've got this Constantino wire out in front of us, and we have to get through it somehow. We'll throw smoke, grenades, so that the enemy can't see us.
My particular job was the grappler. I threw this grappling hook that was attached to a cord, drug it back slowly to detonate any type of obstacles that might be in the way that we wouldn't be able to see, such as a mine attached to a tripwire.
Breach team will lay down a bandolier and a charge, blow it up.
Support team, go! Left side support, go!
Left side support, move!
We send another team through to mark the lane that we'll be traveling through, and then we send the rest of the people through to kill the enemy.
Infantry training culminates in a mock battle called Viking Thrust. For this company, the objective is to defend and hold their position.
Break contact. Hey, what's the best? What's the crash?
They're massing their forces against us, and we were supposed to defend this area and try to take out as many as possible. Each weapon has a laser system attached to it, and when you're firing it, the vibrations attach to your harness, and when you get killed, you beep. It's a long, annoying beep.
I can't see him. Point him out. Hey, come over here. Let's go.
Well, it started out okay. I was on the rear side of the defense, but it was not what we were expecting. We expected them to come my direction, and they came around the back. I think we did okay. I mean, all my friends are dead, and so am I, but...
Cosmo, is that you? Behind there with your belly up?
One of the key things that we want to instill in them here, that as a leader, you will learn from your mistakes. God forbid that they would make some mistake out in the field that would cost somebody their life that could have been precluded here at the United States Military Academy.
There are some big bumps out there. I'm just going to let you know now. We will go through some water, probably. I think you'd be surprised. This thing will go through more than an ATV.
West Point cadets also spend a week at Fort Knox, Kentucky, experiencing the armored branch of the Army.
Go ahead, climb down in the gunner seat.
For a lot of cadets, this is the first and only time that they'll actually get a chance to get on a tank, to get on a Bradley fighting vehicle before they have to make a decision about what branch that they want to go and serve when they come out of West Point.
The button up by your index finger, that's your trigger button.
What's the numbers in there?
The number in there is the range.
Though women are not allowed to serve in frontline combat positions, it's important for every officer to understand how every branch of the Army operates.
As an officer, in order to be able to coordinate everything, you have to know what's going on, what the branches are capable of doing.
Left, on! Does it swing like that on its own?
I was a tank commander. I was supposed to instruct the driver where to go and also to tell the gunner what's going on and, you know, where he's going to focus on so that he can shoot the enemy and view the battlefield.
We're going to follow the company in column. This is the overpass.
Armor training ends with a simulated tank battle, planned by cadets using real tanks.
When we come up on that objective, he's going to give them the order to lift fire. Once they lift it, we'll sweep all the way through.
Everything kind of turns to chaos once battle starts. That's why everybody's pushing, you know, rehearsal, 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 and alternate plans of attack. Because if one person dies, the next person's got to step up and take command. I'm a gunner in the tank. You have to kind of hold on because some people have got some motion sickness down there. I'm hoping I won't throw up. I don't think I will. I told myself I'm not gonna.
Communication, I thought, was the difficult part. Going in, I thought it was going to be, you know, the movement of the tanks, but that seems relatively easy compared to trying to communicate with both my tank crew and the rest of the platoon.
East 6 is Field Force crossing phase line south on the east. Over.
Being on the offensive is a lot harder than being on the defensive because you're out in the open, basically, and the enemy's hiding. So you just keep your eyes peeled and hope that they don't hear that loud tank coming through. Nobody spotted the enemy tanks. They just kind of popped up and shot us.
I see a tank! Is that friendly?
When you're, you know, in the heat of the moment and adrenaline's running and, you know, all your blood's pumping and you have to be very aggressive.
Driver back up! Driver back up! That's Gunner, you down? Better raise up a little.
Our first two platoons got entirely wiped out in the very beginning. You know, the planet seemed so invincible prior to stepping off that you think, you know, this is a great planet, the enemy will never get us. So when I found out that we were like the last platoon left and we ended up having maybe 3 or 4 tanks, you know, live at the end of the battle, I was really shocked.
B6, Iron 4, we are now on the objective, over.
This program is brought to you in part by Michelin Uniroyal Tires, tried and true.
At Uniroyal, in order to make a point about our nail guard tires, we added a few to our test track. Nail guard tires, designed to seal 90% of tread punctures, instantly and permanently. Only from Uniroyal.
It's more than a cruise. It's a magic voyage, filled with grown-up wishes and childhood dreams come true. On Disney Cruise Line, you can be part of a magical adventure that starts with a Walt Disney World vacation, then sails to our private island in the Bahamas. So call now and discover uncharted magic.
Just a thought, that's what Einstein said. Just a view of the future 2 paces ahead. Think about me, think about you, all the good things a little good thinking can do. Just a world, rolling through space, down gravity's highway into your embrace. And I'm thinking about me, think about you, all the good things a little good thinking can do.
From the Discovery Channel and ABC News, Discovery Newsbreak.
Good evening. A study released today shows fewer transplanted organs are rejected if they're accompanied by some of the donor's bone marrow. The bone marrow cells help the immune system accept the donated organ. And you can search for extraterrestrial life from your home computer. A free screensaver program available tomorrow will use PCs to browse through radio signals from deep space.
This Discovery Newsbreak has been brought to you by Merrill Lynch. For our clients, the difference is planning. The difference is Merrill Lynch.
Now that we have a plan.
What can we afford?
If I retire at, say, 65.
Sorry. No, 55.
That's all right.
Oh, 62.
Now, if Kevin goes Ivy League, let's get junior college.
Honey, if he gets into an Ivy League, he's going Ivy League.
You're right.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's see it again. And buying the vineyard in Tuscany.
Ooh.
Vacation in Tuscany.
Yeah. That's nice.
I like that.
No matter what you want to achieve, we can help. Ask Merrill Lynch.
When some people have...
Optiplus dog food is now available at Red Barn in Middletown, including adult chicken formula, all-natural lamb and rice, chicken-based low-calorie, and all-natural chicken-based puppy food. Optiplus dog foods are all-natural and contain no preservatives. Take your pick. 40-pound bags just $19.99. That's Red Barn on County Road 78 in Middletown. Open every day, just for you.
Welcome to the most ravishing spectacle this side of Siam. For a story that's true and a musical that's truly magnificent. Shall we applaud this critically acclaimed Tony Award-winning extravaganza that's a royal treat for you and yours. Rodgers and Hammerstein's The King and I.
Coming to Eisenhower Hall Theater at West Point, Sunday, May 23rd at 2 p.m. Tickets are on sale now.
When you graduate from the Naval Academy, you have a choice of what kind of service you want to go into. Right now, I'm leaning either towards surface Navy or naval aviation. Others go on the submarines. My roommates went in the Marine Corps for 4 weeks. And also some midshipmen joined the Navy SEALs for a couple of weeks.
In the old days, every time we'd make a speed change, that would go down on a piece of paper like in a regular logbook. Now today we have an automatic bell logger.
For those guys that choose surface warfare, they will go through a small pipeline of schools and then find themselves out in the fleet within about a year. They will be a division officer. They'd be in charge of a small division of men that are the technical experts in a certain area. For instance, the gunnery officer's in charge of the gunner's mates and the fire controlman. He'll be their leader.
Not bad for first time, man.
Not bad. They put out barrels out in the water and you fire them until they sink, you know. And so it's really like being G.I. Joe for a little bit. It's a thrill. You get your stress out.
One of the primary appeals is that surface warfare really is what the Navy is primarily about. The ships are at sea around the world at all times. We're the first one to get somewhere if some excitement comes up in one of the countries around the world.
Birds away, track 80441.
CAO Air, kill track 81254.
CAO Air, kill track 81554. What midshipman does is, actually target the track and actually fire the missiles that hit the targets. Birds away, track 80437. The ship handling drills, they put out a little flare in the water, and that's supposed to be the man overboard. You have to swing all the way around back and get him.
Challenge is to watch the speed. You got to get the momentum of the ship under control.
Yes, sir.
Show them how it's done.
There's a high risk when you're out to sea of even falling overboard.
There he is.
So the ship has to be able to maneuver quickly enough to rescue the man before the sharks get him or he dies of hypothermia.
Watch the swing. You don't want to go past.
Right 5 degrees rudder. Right 5 degrees rudder.
Rudder midships.
Rudder midships.
Basically, even though you don't have your hands on the steering wheel, you actually are driving the ship.
You can imagine being that guy in the water with the bow of the ship coming down on him real hard and heavy like that. It was just really freak him out.
Very well. I guess you have to grow up pretty quickly, you know, to be responsible for men's lives and, you know, $1 billion ships. That was a
good approach, though. That was good ship control.
Thanks, sir. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting out into the fleet.
First novel I can remember reading was A Hunt for Red October, Tom Clancy's book all about submarines. The submarine was kind of the real world Starship Enterprise. You know, you could be your own Captain Kirk.
All into the forward deck.
Anyone who had an interest or just wanted to try it out actually got a chance to live the life of it. I mean, we went out to sea for about 10 days, you know, doing all kinds of things underwater, living the life of a submariner. And then we come up on shore and actually go through the schooling that they need.
Fighting a fire on board submarine, because of the tight enclosed atmosphere, you have a lot of different considerations that would come into play that we would not have in, let's say, a normal house fire or even on a surface ship. The pressures inside the ship can increase over 2 atmospheres in less than a minute. So fires can spread very, very rapidly, become very, very dangerous in a short period of time.
Looks like we got rig ship for fire and general emergency.
Let's get those phones on.
The point of this trainer is to try to provide real flooding training for the crew, unlike what they could have at the ship. They can't do that. You need to stay cool, think through the problem, because the ultimate goal is to stop the water. That small team of 12 people can make the difference in the lives of 135.
Man in charge is Seaman Faulkner. There are no injured personnel. Damage to equipment consists of lube oil system, drain system.
The chief would have control over all the pipes. If say he'd flood one pipe, we'd get 100 pounds per square inch of water coming out of all the size of a golf ball, and we'd have to plug that. If you did what they told you to do in the school, everything worked. If you screw up a little bit, you could see the guy next to you, you know, have his nose broken, or even worse, because you have pieces of lead basically flying around like missiles.
Phone talker, tell that man right down there, look at me. That man needs to be behind the pipe.
I remember the water level was starting to creep up and the deck plates above us, and people staying on the deck plates. And the water was starting to get a little bit higher and a little bit colder, and I was thinking, you know, if this is a real submarine, would I really be down here doing this, or would I be worried about my own well-being?
This is a pass or fail thing. This kind of scenario, you either survive or you don't. You have to stop the water.
You flick the lights and then lights for 2. Are we ready for lights?
The scenario gets more difficult as time goes on. The sound levels exceed 100 dB. Water spray, fog, the possibility of losing lighting is there.
You want to do a torpedo?
It was very intense. I remember I was spending some time with the RAF. I thought I had it perfect, and all of a sudden the pressure went up another couple of pounds per square inch and then started leaking again. And then I'm getting hit from behind by what felt like a fire hose.
Some students turn into Supermen. Some others hyperventilate, stop breathing, or just quit. They want out of that environment. But anytime I can stop the water, and we can discuss what the problem is, or remove a student. But at sea, the water's not going to stop.
going to decide our service selection coming up in about 6 months here in January. If somebody says they want to go to the Marine Corps, then whenever the selection board sits down, they're going to see, number one, did they come to Leatherneck? Number two, how well they did at Leatherneck.
This summer we have 274 midshipmen that are going through the program right now. Unfortunately, we're allowed to take about 154.
Next thing that's gonna happen is 2-on-2 bout.
Yes.
For any reason, you drop your weapon in here, you are dead. You lose your weapon in combat, you'll be dead there too. We understand this? Are we ready to get it on? Give me 2 fighters. Go, baby.
When it's one against one, it's just like war. Hand-to-hand combat is something that when you run out of firepower and you can no longer use your weapon as far as a bullet is concerned, you still have a bayonet on it that can still cause havoc.
The only thing he can do, he'll put you against the side, you sidestep him, he'll go forward. He's really not that skilled.
Come on! I tell you what, it's kind of like a mix between American Gladiators, war, and just all-out adrenaline, kill or be killed. I mean, you go out there, and either you're going to die, you're going to get embarrassed in front of all your friends, or you're going to come out the victor on top.
There you go! There you go! Keep swinging! Keep swinging!
I think the biggest thing is just being a part of the most elite fighting force in America. That's the big thing.
First and foremost, let me compliment you on being some of America's brightest and finest young men and women in order to be selected to attend the Naval Academy. I tried like 10 times, and it wouldn't happen. Now, today what you're going to see out here in this wonderful little impact area is an awesome amount of combat power. We're going to show you what the Marine Corps can project at a second's notice. Whether we're coming off of a ship, we're coming out of helos, it doesn't matter. We can be there in a heartbeat. You got a problem, you got some third world punk trying to oppress people, who's going to go in there and slap them around? We are.
We harbor and encourage characters. When I saw Marines at the Naval Academy, they appeared to be rigid and disciplined and regimented. I found that that wasn't the case. That is one of the most intellectually free organizations I've ever seen.
Go! Kick it!
You get to sit in class, in a lot of classes like Western civilization, and you get to talk about the warrior concept, how to become a warrior, looking back in the time, in the history. It's in practice here, because you do have to be able to go out there and you got to be able to look at a tank and you got to be able to say, I got to take that tank out. I understand that there are lives in the tank, but that's my mission, and I have to accomplish my mission.
Cease fire!
It was very humbling. I was very humbled by these big guns.
There we go, about 6-round burst.
Good shoot.
One more.
I tell you what, I never saw as much camaraderie as I saw down there at Quantico, as far as everybody being a part of a team, a unit, and everybody reaching for the same goal together. There's a lot of competition down there, but at the same time, there's a lot of brotherhood.
The word is about, there's something evolving. Whatever may come, the world keeps revolving. They say the next big thing is here, that the revolution's near. But to me it seems quite clear that it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
Great movie.
Great game.
Great movie.
You got some, Bay.
idea.
Gossamer Bay. Something to agree on.
Right, give me a good exit to clean arch, go! Come on, pay attention! Right, heads up at 4,500 feet. Look, reach, pull, go! Come on, you can do it! How many times have you done this? None, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
AT&T 00 Info, how can I help you?
Yes, I'd like the phone number of the Blue Lagoon Resort. I don't know the area code. Do I need to call Florida Information?
Now all you need is one number to get any local or long-distance number. AT&T customers, dial 00. You never need the area code.
Got it. I'm there.
Dial 00 for any number, anywhere. We'll even connect you to your number for free.
Oh, it's magic, you know.
Every weeknight, you're going on the inside, and nobody takes you there like the Discovery Channel. Tomorrow, they're on the hunt for big-time contraband.
Smugglers have gotten real innovative the past few years.
Find out how they track it down, and you won't believe what they find.
It took us 3 days to count all of the money.
A world premiere episode on the inside of U.S. Customs. Tomorrow at 8 Eastern and Pacific on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
The Air Force Academy soaring program gives most of the cadets sometimes their first experience with flying. Can we go ahead and take this? The whole entire program is run by cadets. They're the instructors, and they run operations on a day-to-day basis down at the airfield. You're going to start from the beginning. You're going to do takeoff. Probably one of the biggest things is just relax. I'm right there. I'll definitely take the plane before, anything gets dangerous. We teach them how to fly a 2-seat glider. The instructor pilot sits in the back seat, and the student sits in the front seat. There's identical controls in the front and back. I weigh 170.
Yeah, I weigh 116.
Okay. So are we in limits?
My stomach was just all over the place. I remember thinking there was just a lot to remember, and I didn't want to mess it up and get it out of order.
Usually I try to say something funny. I make jokes or get them to calm down. And remember the 3 phases of takeoff? Relax, and I'm right here.
All right.
Go ahead and wag your rudders when you're ready. There you go. And we're off.
Okay.
We're having fun. Okay, a little high, forward stick, forward stick. A lot of them get a death grip on the stick, and it causes them to fly real jerky. A little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Stay right behind them. Just tell them that, be gentle with it. My plane, my plane. Okay, my plane, my plane, my...
I kept thinking to myself, man, this is nothing like the video games. This is a lot harder in real life. But then once we got up there, I remember thinking, wow, it's just beautiful.
Keep it kind of this way.
The hardest part was the aerotow, the first part, just being pulled by another plane.
Any turbulence in the area, if you see them, bump up and down, you figure, count to 2 seconds, we're going to hit it.
If you're too hard on the controls, you'll fly all over the place. And it's hard to remember that when someone else is pulling, you have to be more gentle. And then once they let go of you, you have to take control again. And that was the biggest thing that worried me. There's no engine, oh my gosh. The most noticeable thing is how quiet it is. You hear the little bit of wind outside, but it's just silent. To be able to look off and see the stadium and everything, it was an awesome sight.
One of the easier maneuvers to do is a nose-high stall. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate one of those for you. As you go along, you use less and less of you flying and more of them flying. And it gets to the point where you can just verbally tell them what they need to do, and then they can fly the plane. You see this? Flying at 60. You think you can hold this? Just try. You have the aircraft. Keep your hand on the spoilers. Keep right rudder, right rudder, right rudder. Keep the stick forward. Stick forward.
They make you feel really comfortable while you're up there, so it's an enjoyable experience.
Slowly stopping.
all my friends back home thought it was just amazing that, you know, I had this opportunity to be in control of all of this. It was fun.
Coming back from summer leave, I flew back from Denver, and I remember looking out the window and thinking how awesome it would be to jump out of a plane at that high. But then again, you're behind the safety of a double pane glass window, and you don't realize how high you actually are. They showed us a video about things going wrong as far as canopy control. They tried to scare us on purpose. They just wanted us to know that this is actually jumping out of a plane, and it isn't like walking down to the corner store to get a jug of milk or something. I took jump in particular because I wanted a challenge. I knew it wasn't going to be something that was easy. Jumping out of a plane is an experience that's just foreign to anybody, pretty much contrary to everything they teach you about saving your own life.
From the second arch 1,000. Stand by, stand the door, go.
Arch 1,000, loop 1,000, pull 1,000, check 1,000.
Okay, recover.
We probably did 100 of those a day, and the training was definitely a lot more physical and a lot more mentally challenging than I'd expected.
Check altitude.
3,500 feet.
Release brakes. Check
And your right brake won't release. It's stuck up there. What do you do?
They tried to make us screw up just so that we'd be better at not screwing up later on.
I have a stuck ripcord. Hard pull. I have a hard pull. Pull 1,000. Pull 1,000.
I don't know how civilian jump schools are able to do that kind of stuff. I'm sure it must take a little bit longer because the people that they have go up probably aren't as used to the stress as military cadets.
Pull it out of my hands. I want to see you force that. You're going to be pulling with all your might up there, aren't you?
Yep.
Do the same thing down here.
Yeah.
I was feeling pretty stressed out, a little bit nervous, or greatly nervous, I should say.
Drugs, medication, and alcohol? No. Sharp objects or jewelry? No. Video and grade card? Yes.
You don't get to notice everything because you're just so concentrated on saving your own life by pulling that ripcord. I think the plane ride up was probably the worst part of the whole jump. You're all sweating there. You're all trying to keep each other confident that you know what you're doing and that everything's going to be fine. We jump out from about 4,500 feet above ground. When that wind is in your face and it's blowing, it's pretty cold up there. You look down and you're thinking, wow. We were 8th to go up, and I was, I think, number 5 to jump. Perfectly good airplane, and I jump out of it. Drifting down the chute was just, that was just awesome. That was probably the most peaceful time I can remember. Fear is a thing that has to be taken care of. You can't always go right through it, but in this career you have to find a way to go around it, and that's what jump helped me to do.
This program is brought to you in part by ERA Real Estate, always there for you, where it's not just about property, it's about people.
At ERA, we believe real estate isn't just about property. It's about people, understanding their needs, doing whatever it takes. It's helping the Perez family get a mortgage for their first home, then finding their movers, home warranty, even their home security system. It's giving the Simpsons an online profile of neighborhoods and school systems and helping them make sense of it all. Every time we help someone buy or sell a home, we help write a new chapter in their lives. ERA Real Estate.
We're always there for you. I feel pretty, oh so pretty.
Through this door
I feel pretty
is the power to make the internet come to life.
And I'm pretty, pretty girl, always the lead tonight.
Introducing the Pentium 3 processor. Don't just get onto the internet, get into it. Find out how at Intel.com.
We can help you see things from every angle, because the fresher the thinking, the fresher the cheese. Ernst & Young, from thought to finish.
Uh-oh, we got trouble.
Please, not me.
That's got to hurt.
Gracie!
We gotta do something.
She's back!
Let's go! Run, monkey, run! I'm not going to make it. She's gonna eat monkey.
Not without milk.
Mom!
Got milk.
Who is the monkey now?
As tough as the first year was, the last 3 are tougher.
The perils of anticipation.
The making of an officer in the conclusion of our special on the inside of America's military academies. Next on the Discovery Channel. Forecasting them can be deadly. Working to control what some call White Death. Just another reminder of our ever-changing, raging planet. Taking on the Avalanche. Next Sunday at 8 Eastern and Pacific on Discovery Sunday.
Looking at between 60 and 70% of these folks are going to graduate from this institution and do some sort of aircrew job. And because of that fact, chances of them being in a combat environment and finding themselves jumping out, bailing out, ejecting out of an aircraft, or finding themselves on the ground, evading from the enemy, are substantially high.
All right, you keep your feet out straight in front of you. I'm going to slide you on your butt. Don't try and stand up. Don't do anything Clive tell you. You ready? Yep. All right, here we go.
You don't hear him. I'm on the 095 radial off of Bullseye 1, approximately 2.5 clicks.
The fact of the matter is, airplanes do get shot down, and that's what we're preparing these folks for.
And you just need to get out of there quick, but you want to save your whole chute. You can do this, you just keep holding the sides in.
And you can see, like, no matter how tight you pull on that knot, it's not going to slip.
Next 2, away from your body. 45-degree angle. Go for it.
They learn how to pack a pack. They learn how to sharpen a knife. They learn how to improvise equipment out of a parachute harness.
That'll hold like all your stuff, your sleeping bag, your extra socks.
This hold everything?
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to really pack it compactly.
Yeah.
You're faced with pretty much everything you never want to be faced with.
As you can see, it makes a very good tender, man-made tender.
We learn how to build fires, what plants we can and cannot eat.
Pass it around before you get scratchy. No.
Anybody want onion?
I mean, it makes you realize what you're doing here. You're not just at school, you're in the military. You know that it's a serious business.
Shine it right on the tips of your fingers, then use it as a sight. Move the mirror with your fingers and try to find what you're trying to shoot at. All right?
All right, this is a 6-pull A-frame, and you can see the bed in there.
Well, if you had a sleeping bag, you can imagine that that'd be pretty nice, you know? A lot of times you're not going to be able to build something like that back there, but you know you're going to have this, and this is going to give you protection from rain and, you know, sunlight It's very camouflaged, it's very small, and it's something you probably want to use during an evasion situation.
We're going to be sleeping on the ground, basically, with sleeping bags we have to carry around and make shelters to keep the rain out and eat whatever we can find, I guess. Grasshoppers and ants, I don't know.
Anybody can go hide in the woods, but hiding in the woods without getting caught is a different aspect of that.
They'll give you a point that you need to reach by the next morning. They give you the window that you need to get there by. They release you, and in your small groups, you get around and you have to be evading. It's just pretty much what you learn in the first 2 weeks that's going to get you through it.
I would say the majority of them probably move fairly quickly and find themselves a hole up sight until the sun actually goes down, so they have the cover of darkness, which aids them a little bit.
You're cold, you're hungry, you're cranky, and you don't have too much to keep you going.
Even though they're only moving 4 kilometers, it's very slow, it's very deliberate, it's very taxing. They're getting up, they're getting down. They have to maintain their concealment because there are people out there looking for them.
It's a nightmare. You don't want to be there, but you know that's the way it's going to be in combat. That's the way you're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to just keep pushing through that stuff and just keep yourself motivated and try to keep those others around you motivated.
At green can number 13 will come left to course 231 degrees true. Proceed down to our next waypoint, which is just off of...
Okay. Whose guys you doing the bearings?
Right. At that point, we'll come left.
We're focused right from the start to produce an officer who's ready to enter the fleet, because we know that every Coast Guard Academy graduate is going to report to the fleet. When you graduate from West Point, you go into infantry or you go into artillery, a whole range of specialties. The same with the Naval Academy. Every Coast Guard Academy graduate is going to go to sea. They always have, and as far as I know, they always will.
1 minute, Mark. I was the plotter on the way out of the harbor. We advised the conning officer of the deck, which way to turn the boat to keep in the safe waters. Con plot, next course will be 201. We're going with the turn range off of Dollar Neck, 0.63, over.
Mark, minute 25. Echo, 0.29.
First class summer, which I'm in now, we are recognized as officers and are treated as such. It's difficult coming right out of the academy, being senior to some of these guys. I mean, they have much more experience than I do. Come on, excellent fix in minute 31. Finds us 160 yards to the right of track. Basically, I just do my job. I do what's expected of me, maintain that professional relationship. We all signed up for the same reason, just to save others.
Con, can you energize the fins?
So far, it's been a great experience. I grew up sailing, and being on the water has been a big part of my life since then, and that's partially what attracted me to do a seagoing service. This is a cold weather suit, also called the Gumby suit for obvious reasons. Basically used in cold climates in case you had to abandon ship. Increases your chance of survival from getting hypothermia. We practiced the man overboard drill as well. Being the newly assigned guy to the ship, I guess I would just happen to fall into that slot of being the man overboard.
Go out there, it's got a wave friendly around, and your leg's broken.
I jumped off the ship. They sounded the drill, and they put in 2 rescue swimmers to come save me.
You're frantic. Oh my God,
Our officers have extraordinary responsibility very young. Some of these people will be commanding patrol boats as little as 2 years after they leave here, and they will have 10, 15 people.
Get his arms at his side.
They will be performing all Coast Guard missions on the ocean without supervision, and they have to be able to handle that level of responsibility.
The word is about, there's something evolving. Whatever may come, the world keeps revolving. They say the next big thing is here, that the revolution's near. But to me it seems quite clear that it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
Great movie.
Great game.
Great movie.
Gossamer Bay.
Great idea.
Gossamer Bay. Something to agree on.
Just a thought, that's what Einstein said. Just a view of the future, 2 paces ahead. Thinking about me, thinking about you. All the good things a little good thinking can do. Good thinking means new ways of looking at things. Little Lisa was smiling cause she could see wings spring from the brush. With each stroke of genius, the good things a little good thinking can do.
At Uniroyal, in order to make a point about our nail guard tires, we added a few to our test track. Nail guard tires, designed to seal 90% of tread punctures, instantly and permanently. Only from Uniroyal.
Excuse me. I see you got a little problem there. You're wearing sunglasses and reading glasses. Boy, do you look silly. Clearly, you haven't discovered Optics 2020 reading lenses. They're soft lenses that cling to the inside of your sunglasses. Like this. Now that small print just jumps into focus. It's magic, isn't it? You look so much better. Optics 2020. Reading lenses for sunglasses. Excuse me, hi. So you got a little problem there, huh? Woo, can't see, can you?
As tough as the first year was, the last 3 are tougher.
The perils of anticipation.
The making of an officer in the conclusion of our special On the Inside of America's Military Academies. Next on the Discovery Channel. Every weeknight, you're going on the inside. And nobody takes you there like the Discovery Channel. Tomorrow, they're on the hunt for big-time contraband.
Smugglers have gotten real innovative the past few years.
Find out how they track it down, and you won't believe what they find.
It took us 3 days to count all of the money.
A world premiere episode on the inside of U.S. Customs. Tomorrow at 8 Eastern and Pacific on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world. A woman, a mystery, a legend. Before you see the television miniseries, explore the truth behind the icon. The real Cleopatra, followed by Cleopatra's Palace in Search of a Legend. Wednesday, beginning at 9 Eastern and Pacific, only on the Discovery Channel.
They had to turn too. But that's not unusual. That's not unusual. Coast Guard cutters around the country right now are going through similar things. To get the mission done, to get the mission accomplished.
Eagle is a national treasure for a number of reasons. But the thing that I care about Eagle is it is one of the most extraordinary leadership team-building platforms in existence.
Back easy. Yeah, we got it.
A sail evolution on a large sailing vessel is one of the most complex maneuvers imaginable. And to do a complex maneuver requires 120 cadets operating in perfect unison in sometimes really tough conditions.
Anchors away, underway. Left full rudder high.
On Eagle, my 3rd class year, it was a struggle. We were port hopping, and I get seasick. And it was just such a challenge, but I remember my 1st class just saying, it's all right, you'll get through this. 5 or 6 days, you're going to feel fine, and we're going to be having a blast. And it happened.
Man, my rudder's left 10 degrees. Man, my engine is back 2/3.
The reason we came back as 1st class, we had a choice. We didn't have to come back here. And we came back here because we love to sail, and we love the ocean, and we love being underway.
Man, my rudder's right 5 degrees.
Right now, under my immediate charge, I have 7, 3rd class. I want them to absolutely love going to sea.
274, watching 276. Mark, 276.
After coming back here my last year, I feel I know Eagle. Now, I'm ready to sail up and down the East Coast. It's like my turn to drive the big bus, you know? It's kind of how I think about it. You know, in today's world of like bow thrusters and high-powered turbines to drive ships, it's nice to kind of sit out here and realize that there's another way to do things.
By maybe week 3 or week 4, I can have my crew step back, and they'll still be out there as safety observers, but let the cadets run the evolutions themselves. Let them tack the ship, let them wear ship. And then maybe by week 5, I'll make it cadets-only sail stations and really give them a feel that, hey, we're running the ship ourselves. And I think that gives them a great sense of accomplishment.
Sail stations, all hands, sail stations.
When you're out here for a while, you can stop, take a look at the horizon, smell the air. That's the best part of it. In the middle of nowhere, it gives you time to think. And once you get that time to think, everything falls into place.
The channel we're traveling in is 1,000 yards wide. It's a very large channel. As we come around here, we'll also begin to see the skyline of New York.
We are currently sailing to New York City for Fleet Week. From there, we go to Washington, D.C. for the change of command ceremony. And then from there, we're going to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Like the captain says, you haven't sailed unless you've sailed to a foreign port. So you're exploring the world. It's part of the voyage.
And if you're not doing something, help out on a halyard or help out with the sheets, okay?
I mean, of course, you're doing lots of hard work pulling these lines and such. And you could drive to New York, but everyone's got a car. You know, you're making the vessel go to New York.
We got those 2 buoys, right?
Yeah, we call those already.
It's not only working in the rigging, it's also living together in a community on a ship. I was reading in the Washington Post a few days ago about how some firm has picked up a couple of the old America's Cup yachts, and they're bringing corporate teams from IBM and AT&T out and putting them together as a crew and teaching them how to work together. And they think it's a bright new idea. But we've been doing it for over 50 years in Eagle. Eagle symbolizes everything that we're trying to achieve at the Coast Guard Academy.
Pretty nice weather, huh?
You're always out in the weather. You're always studying the wind. You're always studying the waves. And you learn what kind of effect that has on your ship.
The Fort Royal Braces report when manned and ready.
I think probably some people who run modern ships who haven't been brought up in that way maybe push their ships too much or don't take the weather into account, and that's when accidents happen. But on Eagle, you can't get away from it.
Nice job. You can call yourself a salty dog when you're out here sailing a square rigger like Eagle.
Hey guys in the back of the line, you're making your classmates do a lot of work back here. Lean back.
I think it's great.
But when you have to get 20 people to do something, you have to change. I can mark out orders for just about anything right now with confidence. I think that's the most important thing. And on a smaller ship, what would it be called? Where is a dive? That's right. Okay, great. It's cold. Let's go down below. Great job. This is almost the ultimate test of a leader. When you're out here sailing, when you have to get things done, you're in the middle of the ocean. You have so many people to take care of and control and manipulate that if you can do this, you can do just about anything.
Tomorrow, they enforce over 400 standards and laws each year,